Hey, what's up guys, Jed here. Today we're going to be doing an in-depth review of the intermittent fasting app Clear. But of course, before we get into all that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you stay up to date whenever I post a new video. Alright, so whenever I do these kinds of reviews, I just want you guys to know that these are the most downloaded apps on the App Store, specifically for intermittent fasting. And of course, I like to make sure that I give you guys the best value so that you don't have to waste your time scrolling through the App Store, going through a bunch of apps that will most likely be useless. So I chose the best of the best. So starting off with our very first in-depth review, today's app is Clear. No pun intended. Alright, so without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? Alrighty, here we go. Welcome. Thank you. Clear is the perfect companion on your way to a healthier life. Okay, your fasting program. Just answer a few short questions. How much experience do you have with intermittent fasting? I've been doing it for a couple of years now, so I would say a lot. I've never seen that before in a multiple choice question. A lot. I like that. Choose all goals that are important to you. Lose weight, live healthier, strengthen mentality, become fitter. Fair enough options. We're just gonna go for lose weight. Okay. To which gender identity do you most identify? I am pretty sure I'm a male, so we're gonna go ahead and go with that. What is your current weight? I am currently 130 pounds. Okie dokie. What is your target rate? I just said rate. What is your target weight? Let's just say 120. That's about 10 pounds. Okay, 120 pounds. Because of course, you know, who doesn't want to lose 10 pounds? When do you finish your last meal on an average day? For me personally, it's almost always around 8 p.m. Okay. Your plan is ready. 18-6, 18 hours fasting and 6 hours eating is the intermittent fasting schedule that's recommended for me. And of course, to no surprise, that is what I have been doing. So apparently this app knows me pretty darn well. I'll give them a plus for that. Alright, what else we got here? Look forward to visible results in 1 week. Interesting. A relaxed smile. Your goals. Lose weight. Desired weight is 120 pounds. I finished my last meal at 8 p.m. Okay. Pretty organized app so far. Here is the, the plus of every app. But of course, we're just going to ignore that. And here we have it. On to the good stuff. I can start fasting and change my start time, but we're not going to do that right now. Alright, here we go. We have finally made it to the main interface. And we got some shortcuts here. You can add some notes. Let's check that out real quick. Okay. So they have a tab where you can use notes. I'm not really sure what you would use that for. I guess it's more like just personal reminders. Actually, no, I think I know what you could use it for. You could use it to track food, obviously. What was I thinking? Of course you could use notes, alright? And of course you have an add weight tab where you can adjust your weight accordingly. I like that. And you can also change your plan. Ooh, this is interesting. So they have a bunch of beginner schedules for intermittent fasting, advanced programs, and of course, experienced. Actually, let me go through these real quick because I want to rank these two and see if it's really beginner friendly, right? 12-12, definitely. 13-11, 14-10, 15-9. I agree those are beginner. As a matter of fact, I think here 16-8 should still be in beginner, in my opinion. Then of course, as you go a little higher than that, 17 all the way to 24 hours, those I would consider advanced. So pretty good, pretty close. As a matter of fact, if you look at all of these, in case you're curious, these are a whole bunch of options that you can choose from. Here for beginners, 12 all the way to 15, those are the ones I recommend. If you are someone who is thinking of trying out intermittent fasting, you should definitely go with these beginner schedules. Just pick one, and once you get used to these will definitely help you get used to fasting for longer periods of time. That's how it's done. So it's actually pretty neat that they have these options here. I like that. That's a big plus for me. I like that. Okay, and then we have a diary here. This is interesting. I don't really know what you would use this for, but I'm sure it has its purpose. And of course, just like a whole bunch of other apps, you have a water tracker. Cool. So those are its shortcuts. I like the fact that it has those. That's actually useful. Normally, I'm not a fan of apps that have an interface where there's just a whole bunch of things, like I've said in the past in a video that I made talking about the best intermittent fasting apps. I like apps that look clean and simple and straightforward and easy to understand. Normally, I wouldn't like something like this that has a lot of options here like this, shortcuts, since I don't find them necessary. But here in this app, in the Clear app, it's not bad. It's acceptable for me, so that's definitely, I'll take it for this app. I'll take it. All right, we got 3 other tabs here. What do we got here? Basics. What does that mean? Stories. It's that simple. What can I consume during the fasting phase? Eating phase. What can I eat? Okay, let's check these out. I have no idea what these are. Eating phase. What can I eat? Okay, alrighty. This is interesting. Let me check this out real quick. Let me check out a few more. Okay, I think I'm starting to get it now. So these are basically just tips. Interesting. And as we scroll down, they even... Okay, so these at the top, it says, it calls them stories, so it kind of reminds me of Instagram. So these are all basically just tips. And here, as you go further down, you have articles explaining a couple of different things, like, for example, what is intermittent fasting? Okay, interesting. That's pretty cool. I don't find that, entirely necessary, but I guess for some people, they might find that useful. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. All right, next tab, achievements. It shows you how many intervals you've finished. Longest interval, I'm assuming that means fast. Average, active program, your streaks. I know for a lot of people, if they use this streaks tab right here, it's gonna be up and down, but that's normal. Don't be discouraged about that, guys. It's all part of the journey, if you know what I mean. You can connect with Google Fit if you upgrade to the Plus, and of course you have a graph here for your weight. I think that's a graph. Is that a graph? I don't know what that is. And of course some other options here as well that again I don't find necessary. And of course here on the More tab you can give them a rating and some other settings here as well. All right, and that's pretty much it for this app. So overall, for the main interface here, it's clean, sleek. I like that. It's neat. I feel like it could have been a lot better if they removed this plus offer here in the bottom. I feel like that's a little bit too much promotion. Not necessary, but no big deal. It's almost in every app, So I would say overall for the entire app, the shortcuts would be my favorite, because a lot of these are really useful and very easy to access. I mean, when you open the app, it's right there. So I found that very useful. Oh, and I forgot to mention another thing, which is here at the bottom, you can see how long you've been fasting, and you can of course start fasting and end your fast. Simple as that, while of course showing your results. So it's not bad of an app. Definitely a lot of pros for this app. Like I said earlier, the shortcuts, I like that. It's very easy to access. They're simple, they're useful, and they are neat. I like how it sort of sets everything for you in the beginning when you're answering those questions. It goes ahead and sets everything up for you. So that's another plus. If I had to think of any cons, it's definitely here at the bottom where I said, the promotion of getting the plus version. I don't think it needs to be here in the front page. Same thing here in the knowledge tab. You got some more plus options with the basics, with the stories and the articles. They're okay, but at the same time, again, I feel like they don't need to be here. A lot of these things that you see here on this tab, it's as simple as a short Google search. But besides that, it's okay, not bad. If you're already in the app, you don't want to go to Google, I suppose. But again, there aren't that many options. So, if you had a specific question and you go into the knowledge tab and they so happen to not have your question, then of course you would be forced to use Google. So that's why I don't find that tab necessary. And the achievements, I've never really been a fan of achievements in any app. You know what I mean? But I can see why people would like it. It's a motivator. But again, if you're asking me, don't find it necessary. And of course, on the More tab, you have your settings. So what are my overall thoughts on this app? I think it's great. right? And as a matter of fact, I think if they removed that, promotion of their plus version of the app on the front page of the app, I think it's a pretty good app overall. Would I keep it in my arsenal of intermittent fasting apps? For me personally, probably not. Would I recommend it though? Of course. So hopefully I've made that clear. That's all I gotta say about that. If you guys are interested in learning more about weight loss and intermittent fasting, be sure to check out my last video where I talk about if you can chew gum while intermittent fasting. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and tap that notification bell so that you never miss out on any future videos. Also, don't forget to leave a like and comment down below letting me know. What do you guys think about the Clear app? And with that said, I will see you guys next time.